I know I'm going all over the place. I feel like I'm going on tangents. Hey, what's going on? What's poppin'? It's me, Akira. Welcome to my channel. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, all those the buttons, you know, the bell, you know the spiel, you know what everybody says. So make sure you do all that. So today, I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know how this is gonna go, because I have a lot that I want to get out, but I also know I'm still learning how to edit, so it takes me forever. So we'll see, you know, we'll see, we'll figure it out, we'll see. Today we're going to be talking about money versus integrity. This is why. Most of us know the Monique situation about her being blackballed by the industry because of Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels and all that. If you don't know the whole spiel, Google it. It's a lie. And then we went through the whole boycott Netflix thing, which, all right, sis. Like, who knows me knows, like, I'm all down for a boycott if it makes sense. That one, personally, I wasn't all the way there. Like, I understood what she was saying, and she did make some good points, but there were also other parts. I'm just like, I don't know, sis. To me, I didn't boycott, but, you know, I understood people who did. Let's just keep it a buck. Monique is hilarious. I know growing up, Monique was one of the women that I looked at like, yo, if she can do it, I can do it too. Recently, she went on Steve Harvey's show, and like a really good conversation about it. Now, I already feel ways about Steve Harvey, so I went into it kind of already with like a in my spirit, you know what I'm saying? But I also wanted to know, you know, what he thought about it, how, you know, what the conversation was really going to be. Now, obviously, for copyright reasons, I can't put the clips specifically in this video, but I will have a link to the clip that I'm talking about below. And I mean, realistically, it's kind of been all over the internet, but I saw it first on Instagram. So that's what made me go look at it, like, what exactly is going on. And it's a clip where Steve is basically talking about, you know, this isn't a black man thing, this isn't a white man thing, this is a money thing. And you can't help anybody. You can't help poor people by being a poor person. And if I fall off, then what about all the people that's dependent on me? And then she was like, well, you know, before the money game, there has to be an integrity game. And that spoke volumes to me, because that is super important. Integrity is defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Like, don't get me, some of our favorite songs talk to us about getting to this money, how money's the most important. I keep thinking it's like a Big Sean lyric, but I can't think of it right now. Something about I'm gonna give them heaven on earth. No, not, or Drake. Big Sean, Drake. Like, pick an artist. Pretty sure they have a lyric about money being the most important. Right now, don't judge me. Judge me free zone, okay? But right now, I really like that Ariana Grande song, Seven Rings. I like the song. I think it goes. Her voice is kind of high, but whatever, you deal with it. But in the song, she talks about how the people who say that money can't solve your problems must not have enough money to solve them. Which I feel like she stole that from somebody else, now that I'm saying it out loud. Y'all let me know in the comments if she stole that from somebody else, because I feel like she did. That sounds familiar. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Regardless, because that's the thought process out here, there are so many people who are willing to sell their souls for money, and it's not worth it. I am someone who about getting to that bag, okay? I try to do it now in moderation, and what I mean by that is I want to set myself up to where I don't have to sacrifice so much. Like, in my early 20s, I made a lot of money. Blew it because I didn't know what I was doing, but I made a lot of money. But I also missed out on a lot of family things in the pursuit of getting this check. Now, I ain't saying don't get no money. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it shouldn't cost you your soul to get to that money. It shouldn't cost you your purpose to get to that money. It shouldn't cost you your joy to get to that money. You know what I'm saying? That is not worth that. I really appreciated Monique saying in that moment, there's an integrity game, and that's the problem. We've lost our integrity. It's actually crazy, because I just found a video as I was taking a break during the editing. I was on my Instagram and I found a clip of Steve Harvey, like an old clip. But it's him basically talking about, I guess it was some type of stand up, and he was talking about how for $4 million he'll be a monkey, he'll be picking stuff off of him, he'll swing in work, all of that stuff. Black people will be mad and embarrassed, but he won't care because he got his money. So he's already been showing that his integrity is for sale. He doesn't really care about what it looks like as long as he's getting a check, which is ridiculous. You see it on TV every day. We see so many people who are willing to do whatever for a check. You see people on Instagram, girls selling tummy tea, knowing all it's gonna do is make you poop, and that's how you lose the weight. You see dudes, gray sweatpants on, trying to entice you to get. It's like, bruh, sir, I did not come on here for this. I am just trying to scroll. Sir, we already sell our time. You said that $9 is worth an hour of your time, right? And hopefully you are using that job as a stepping stone to get to the next place. Some people, within their jobs, they're happy there. And that's cool. If you're one of those people who are happy, you're content, you want to move up with this company, and that's your goal, there's nothing wrong with that. But for those people who, it's just a job, it's not your career. That's what it is. Okay, so are we using it as a stepping stone? I used to work at Starbucks. I actually worked at Starbucks twice, many years ago. And I remember one St. Patrick's Day. If you are in Cleveland, downtown Public Square, I think it's the Huntington building now. There's a Starbucks in there. I used to work in that Starbucks before the remodel that they have now. And I remember St. Patrick's Day. It was so nasty. Like, it got to the point where we had to, because our downtown is full of bars, and the bars are open all day, even though half of y'all aren't even Irish, but whatever, that's not the point. It was so nasty that I remember, like, people were throwing up in the bathroom of Starbucks, and boo, I was only getting paid, what, $8 an hour? I don't get paid enough, boo. So, no, I wasn't cleaning. But I remember during that day being like, that this would be the last St. Patrick's Day that I spent in Starbucks. Like, I was done with it, you know what I'm saying? And it was. I think I went on to work at some other place, and I went back to school. Listen, I done did 50 million things. I done been to school for 50 million things. Child's been a process, okay? But I say all that to say, your bag shouldn't cost you your morals, period. You should have a certain set of standards. Let's just say, even if you're a grimy person, even grimy people got certain standards. Like, there should be certain lines you just not willing to cross. And if this job or this whatever is making you cross those boundaries, then you shouldn't be doing it. Colin Kaepernick is a perfect example of how you can get your bag and maintain your integrity. That man took a knee, got blackballed by the NFL, but now NFL had to come up off that check, and he still was able to maintain his integrity. Is he perfect? Absolutely not, but he stood for something. And I, for one, appreciated the stand that he took, because it's important. Not trying to be funny, Black History Month is for white folk, it's for everybody else, because I'm black all the time. I can't take this off, not that I would want to, because melanin's popping, but growing up, I can't say that I loved being a black person, especially times when I was in predominantly white spaces, and they made sure to let me know that I was different, and that different made me lesser than them. So now that I've gotten older and I've gotten past all of those things, now you can't tell me, can't tell me anything about being black. But even though it's lit being in this melanin, at the same time, it can be dangerous, unfortunately. My pastor today shout out to my pastor. Hey, pastor. His sermon was about black being beautiful, and about how, no, as black people, we're not superior to anybody, but we're not inferior to anyone either. I know I'm going all over the place. I feel like I'm going on tangents. I said all that to say, your integrity can't come before your money. That's it, pretty much. Now, not to get all super deep, but when I was thinking about the money versus moral conversation, there's a Bible verse that talks about money and morals and things like, well, money more so. It's 1 Timothy 6:10. It says, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wavered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. I'm a Christian, so everything is through that lens. I'm still a person, still wrapped in flesh. So when it comes to the money thing, I've lived that. I've lived the whole, I'm willing to do anything for a check. Lived it. And I'm in a place now where it's just not worth it. So when I hear somebody say, basically, forget your integrity and your morals and whatever else get to this bag. It's like, nah, son. And now I'm looking at you sideways. I'm gonna tell you the first thought I thought when I heard Steve Harvey say, you need to get to this bag, and what if, you know, I can't let the people who depended on me fall because I'm worried about trying to help other people. First thought I had was, so what are you instilling in them that if you fall, they can't help you get back up? I don't know Steve Harvey's situation. I don't know. As far as I know, his children are adults. Maybe he has like 1 or 2 that are underage. And Steve Harvey has been in the game long enough. To me, not only should he be able to get to a bag, he should have made it possible where regardless of what goes on with anybody around him, everybody know how to get to a bag. It's cool to be dependable, but they shouldn't have to depend on you. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why everybody like just fall apart if you just disappear. So that was my first thought. So you aren't passing this knowledge on, you just harboring it. He done wrote 50 million books, so I'm pretty sure he isn't, but it's just, I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. Moral of the story is, your integrity matters. Your name matters. Your brand matters. Your reputation matters. If people know that you'll do whatever for a bag, it's a lot of people who gonna try to take advantage of that. There are just some things you can't get me to do for a check, period. And you need to have that same energy about yourself. And I appreciate Monique Stan being like, this is what I deserve. I say I deserve based on this. Now, like I said, the number she gave Netflix, I felt that was a little crazy. But I also felt like the number Netflix gave her was a little crazy. I kind of feel like y'all should have been able to meet somewhere in the middle. There's nothing wrong with knowing your worth. There's nothing wrong with demanding your worth. And if you lose things in the midst of that, I respect you standing up for your morals. There's a man who, sports store, I was just reading this the other day. I started on Instagram something. Instagram's like a news channel nowadays. He has a sports store and he didn't agree with Colin Kaepernick. So he stopped selling Nike stuff. And now had to close the store because he literally said having a sports store and not selling Nike is the equivalent of having a gas station and not having gas. You can't do it. And he was like, I guess there was a lot more Colin Kaepernick people than I thought it was. Even though he ended up taking the L, he stuck to his principles. He stuck to his morals. And even though I don't agree with those principles or morals, I respect them. I get it. So that's that. Pick your morals, people. I know it's easier said than done. I know sometimes life happens and you gotta make a decision, but is there another decision you can make? But you know the dope thing, even if you make that decision and it goes left, like I said, I'm a believer, so the dope thing is that he died for that too. So you could come back and start over. You don't have to be in that place forever. You know what I'm saying? If you make that, there are a lot of people who go wayward and feel like, oh, I've gone too far from Jesus. He doesn't want me. There's no such thing. Jesus goes after all the lambs. He cares about all the people, all the folks, all those who believe in him. He cares about those who don't believe in him too. But, and I'm not gonna say especially, but those who believe in him, yes, absolutely he cares. Absolutely. It don't matter how far you go. Let's just say you do pick that bag for a second over your morals. That's okay. I'm not gonna say it's okay, but like I said, life happens. I get it. Don't think though that you're just done once that happens, and don't let life harden your heart to what God has for you, because you still have a purpose outside of all of that. And sometimes this dope thing about God will use your foolery to turn you around and put you where you're supposed to be. I was gonna tell a story, but I don't know if I want to tell that story yet. If you want to know the story about how I've been in my church for 10 years this year, I think it is. Yeah, 10 years this year. On my own, pick the church. This is where I want to go, whatever. Like 10 years. And if you want to know the story of how I got to the church, well, if you want, comment below if you want to know. I'll leave it at that, because if nobody comments, then it's no big deal. But if you want to know the story, comment below. Forget enough, maybe I'll tell the story of how I even started to consider Christ for real. Like, I kind of always knew him, but anyways, going off topic.